Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to talk about another type of factoring called the difference of squares. This is a special pattern that honestly is a really easy way of factoring, but at the same time, it's also easy to forget this specific pattern. So what we're looking for is what's known as a difference of squares. So if you have two things that are perfect squares, what you get in the end is this plus and minus relationship between them, because that cancels out the middle term and is why there's only two terms in the FOILed out expression. What you're looking for to signify these is you're looking for these numbers, okay? You're looking for there to be two terms. You need subtraction and these numbers. Okay, so those are kind of the key things to be looking for difference of squares. Now, what I mean by that is, notice here, I have two terms, I have subtraction, and then look at that term there, 64. So, 64 is one of my magic numbers. 64 is made with 8 times -8. So what I do is I always set up this basic structure first, okay? I set up my two parentheses with a plus and a minus. That's the basic structure to any difference of squares problem. And then, where does x squared come from? Well, x squared comes from x and x. Where does 64 come from? Well, 64 comes from 8 and 8. Okay, so again, basic structure is not difficult. It's just easy to forget when you have all these other types of factoring you're concerned about. But the pattern holds true all the time. So let's look at this one. Two terms, subtraction, and I have one of those magic numbers. 63 goes with 6. So what makes x squared? Well, x and x. What makes 36? Well, my little chart over there just showed me 6 and 6 makes that 36. Let's see that pattern again. So here again, two terms, I'm subtracting them, and I have one of those numbers that's on my list. So what makes x squared? Well, x and x. What makes 100? 10 and 10. Now, of course, they can get a little bit more complicated. So let's look at this one. So this one, I have two terms, I have subtraction, and notice this time I have two of those special numbers. I have 4, which relates to 2, and I have 49, which relates to 7. So this time that 4 breaks up just like the x squared does. So the x squared breaks up into x and x. The 4 breaks up into 2 and 2. Then that 49 we just showed breaks up into 7 and 7. So again, a very easy way to factor as long as you remember the pattern. That's the biggest thing, is simply remembering that pattern. But there's really nothing more to it. So, thank you for joining me for this one. Again, make sure you have all this filled out and come and see me if you have any questions.